Hi, my name is Derek DeMoro. I'm the lead engineer on the Spark and FastPath products for Jive Software. Today I'm going to be talking about basically moving over from uh, basically JavaScript-based applications and more into using the new Flash Flex-based stuff. So one of the things, the biggest challenge that we were actually facing in the beginning is, Jive Software is a very core Java um, engineering team. Everybody here, we have wonderful Java engineers, and none of us have actually had any experience with the Flash platform and specifically Flex. So a large challenge was, trying to kind of, have this undertaking of learning a new technology that in the past I don't think any of us really realized what the power of it was and how it could actually benefit us. We always thought of Flash as kind of a rinky-dink little tool used for people to use for advertising and slight web interactions. And the idea was there's a couple things that really fit well is that coming from a Java background, the ActionScript 3.0 code that is used by Flex 2.0 is from any Java developer's perspective, you will see the similarities instantaneously. You'll take a look at that, and they have the same class structure and package structure and variable declaration and the like. And so looking at that, I was actually able to port some of the code over from the Spark desktop client over to the Spark web client using ActionScript 3.0. The other very nice thing coming from a Swing background in Java is that in the MVC architecture that is used within Flex, using the MXML, it's an XML formatted file to declare UIs, and then using, so that's basically your UI declaration, and then using ActionScript 3.0 code for, as your model and business logic. And it's just a very fine separation of how to build an application. So the challenges were, learning that, obviously getting your head around a new language, but you're able to do pretty much the exact same things you can do on the Swing side, with some limitations, in a very quick amount of time. I mean, it's a very short learning curve. So one of the issues that we were having was we were doing code development, working on the Spark client, which was written in Java Swing, and writing the Spark web client, which was written in HTML and JavaScript. And one of the issues we had was that you're basically trying to mimic the exact same experience on the desktop and in the web client, and having multiple developers working on this at the same time, going through trying to do QA on two different products and trying to release this kind of like I was saying, the same experience. So we started investigating a lot of things, and we realized that one of the potential things to do was to try to write one code base and be able to deploy it on the web and on the desktop. And Matt and others within the organization and myself were talking about this and realized that going the Flex route, and with the new Apollo Air, well, it was codenamed Apollo, now it's known as Air, with the new Air deployment features from Adobe, that we could actually write the client with one code base, which is Flex, and deploy it onto the web using just a simple Swift file, a simple Flash file that's created from it, and as well as actually deploying it onto the desktop using Air. So we actually went through, wrote a very quick example of Spark Web that we had before, redid it in Flex, and within 30 minutes of that was able to actually deploy it onto the desktop. The major benefit of this is twofold. The first one is that you now are able to have one developer write, in essence, two products, and that limits the code coverage that happens because there's one eyeball on it, and also makes QA much easier because you can actually go through testing the core functionality within the product itself in either on the desktop or on the web, and then going through and actually looking at the specialized things, some of the minor code that you actually have to change to make it more appealing on the web or more appealing on the desktop. So in doing so, we're actually kind of moving forward with this whole approach in many aspects of the RTC product line. So in the upcoming months, you'll actually be able to see what I'm talking about.